Hello, hello, everybody. I'm doing a little bit of a spontaneous live. I know I started doing these recently, and it's just a really good way for me to get information out as it's coming to me. By the way, hi, my name is Allison Holly, and I am a channel and an awakening guide. And I'm also here to kind of tell you the energetic frequencies and the shifts as they come up. And a lot is shifting. So I feel the desire and the need to be very present. By the way, I have a new stand and it makes me feel like a little kid. So anyway, if you do join live or if you're here, feel free to say hi in the chat. This is probably going to be pretty brief, and I just wanted to update you all with what I've been seeing. So, um, my energy has been feeling very strange lately, I would say. It feels to me like I'm a little bit foggy. I'm kind of in a cloud. It feels, I keep losing my thoughts. But what's really interesting is that my even though my thoughts, my mental capacity feels a little bit off, my channeling has been very easy to access, very clear. So to me, what that says is that the mental realms are going through a huge amount of transition. Planetarily, and I don't follow a lot of astrology, but sometimes sometimes the astrology is pretty loud. And right now we do have a lot of retrogrades happening. Hello, Steph. um all of those retrogrades, where we are with our awakening process and everything like that. um we have something really interesting happening, which is there's a massive amount within that fourth dimension astral plane, and I've talked about this before. That area is I described it like a ice cream sandwich. It's sort of the middle's being squashed out as third and fifth dimensions come together, and the fourth dimension really clears and cleans up. Um, that's the mental realm, that's the mind. So what we're witnessing is a lot of that clearing, a lot of that cleaning. And like I said, I've been having a little bit of brain fog. I've talked to other people. There's this feeling of things aren't moving. um, Even though we can see that a lot is moving and shifting, everything feels a little bit pause. A feeling of maybe discomfort in the body, like, "Ooh, this feels weird. Why are we moving this way?" Well, we are in a portal of transformation right now. So, what this portal often, this particular portal, I'm going to describe just this one. What portals often feel like, though, is it can either feel like very fast movement, or it can feel like nothing's happening. Do you ever watch in the movies, and this really mirrors the way that things happen multidimensionally? If you watch in the movies when, and this has to do with gamma brainwave states, which I talk a lot about, especially in regards to telekinesis and everything, six dimensional consciousness, where things are moving in slow motion because so much is happening all at once. And this is, the movie reference that I'm talking about, where a lot of times in the movies, you'll see this hyper focus start to happen, and everything's moving really, really, really slowly. Time is sort of elongating because a lot is happening in that moment. And because there's a hyper awareness. So that's really what we've got going on right now. For me, it feels like everything's moving in slow motion. For you, I'd love to hear how these energies are going for you, but it's definitely, and also here in the US, we have holidays, which I don't actually celebrate. I just don't enjoy them, so I opt out. Um, that being said, there are a lot of atypical movements through life right now, outside of the schedule, right? So, um, the guidance that I'm getting for all of us to move through this right now is rest, to rest and be. Allow yourself to the visual that I got was sort of like if we're all heading down river, um, and there's something really, really big and transformative coming. There's several checkpoints coming in December that are massive, massive. Uh, so if we look at it like this, a river, we're all kind of floating in this river, and we're floating downstream, and there are several forks in the river. What you want to do is you want to float and be relaxed and simply be, right? There's not a lot of forcing right now. In fact, we're moving out of the realms of forcing and things like that. But what we're doing is we do want to kind of get in the realms of the river that's going to take us. When the river forks, we want to be kind of in the current that's going to take us the direction that we want to go. So that was the visual that I got. Now I want to share with you what's coming. On December 3rd, I was in channeling the other day with my friend Chris, and you all heard him on, let's see, the 6 Life Purpose groups. We did that channeling together. Being in his energy is so helpful for me. I'm able to tune in to these star frequencies, and it's really lovely. So we were doing another channeling together that I'm going to be sharing with you on Friday. But in this space, I got the most intense feeling around December 3rd, and it came in out of nowhere. I wasn't looking for anything like this. Just all of the sudden, it was like, whew, December 3rd. That's a big one. And also, another significant thing about the way that I channel is I don't tend to see specific dates as much as general themes and movements like that, because specific dates, again, I am in the realms where I know that we're all creators, and so a lot can be changed simply by our choosing and our decision to move in a different energy or to be in a different energy, and it can happen just like that. However, I did see December 3rd is really, really, really powerful. And what I saw was that's one of those fork in the road moments. That's one of those. What I saw was it's a sharp right and it's a sharp left. And when it's going to happen sort of automatically based on where our energy predominantly is. And this is why we want to we're just floating down the river. We're being easy about it, but we're tuning our frequency. We're letting our energy bring us in the current of where we're going after this, where we're aiming. And I'm sorry, you guys, I've had a little bit of a stuffy nose, so I'm gonna right in the middle of a live stream, but I'm clearing some sinus stuff. Apologies. But anyway, so what we really want to do, December 3rd is one of those sharp right, sharp left moments, and it's based on our predominant frequency. I'll say that your predominant frequency, from the way that I saw it in this channeling, it's more than the way that you're thinking right in this moment. It's actually the full beingness of who you are. It's decisions that you've already made before you even incarnated. Those of you who are going full on in this ascension journey, who are here to bring new earth, you chose your lane before you were even born. So the purpose is to choose again, to choose consciously. But it's not something that we do with a lot of mental fortitude, right? It's not something where we're like, oh, I'm really, really concentrating so that I go the right direction. It's actually just being the truth of who you are and letting yourself center in that focus, in that energy. Let yourself be in that energy and then you will go the direction that you've already pre-chosen. But what I saw was December 3rd, and this is how intense I saw it. I don't know how it's going to show up physically, but it looked like such a sharp right and such a sharp left that the people who went in the lighter frequencies, I don't know, right or left, but the people who are going in the lighter frequencies, it feels like peace. It feels like a bright light. I do keep seeing these flashes. And again, how that presents in the physical realm is, I'm very curious about it. But it looks like a bright white light where we just are in peace, in joy, in prosperity. That's the word that's coming through right now. And the people who go the other direction, especially, let me say this. It's people who are not choosing consciously. If you're not choosing consciously, if you're letting whatever current kind of take you, that's when you go in a direction that's not preferred. And that direction looked awful. I can't even describe how awful it looked and felt in my channeling uh, session. And I was surprised. I was really genuinely surprised. I truly don't, I've said this before, when I talk about that energetic earth splitting, human me, and even the channeling higher version of me knows that this is that everything is beautiful, that everything is fine, that there are no bad guys, that there are no good guys, that this is a play, that we're navigating this. And I don't see it in terms of duality, in terms of bad guys and good guys. I will say, though, that what I saw in this channeling around people who go one direction and people who go the other direction, the unpreferred direction was really, really, really awful. And what it looks like is seeing, let's see, it just looked like, I don't know how to describe it without using some really polarizing terms, but it did not look fun. I'll say that. It looked like harvesting energy. It looked like a lot of very disgusting things being shown on a public platform. Not in a literal sense, but like some of the things that has been going on in terms of really dark energies, it looked like that started to really show up, and it was in people's faces, and we felt it, and it was gross. It was so gross, you guys. I can't emphasize that enough, and I'm going to go ahead and just stop talking about it. Here's the guidance, though. And I know it sounds funny for me to say be at peace after I just said all of that, but what I want, what I feel called, and what I desire for all of us to remember is that it's very easy to choose the light. It's very easy to choose the light because it's truly who we are. Right now, with all of these retrogrades, with the current energy, and collective energy is different than astrological energy. It's a slightly different bandwidth that I'm reading. But both of those, collective energy and with the astrology going on, what we're really presented with right now is doubling down with who we know ourselves to be. And that the reason that I'm having a hard time describing this is because it's not about physical strength, and it's not about a mental strength, although it is about focus. So if you feel the need to put some strength to it, it's because, right, if it takes effort, it's because it's something that we haven't been relaxing into and practicing. This is more about surrender. This is the word I'm looking for. This is more about surrendering into the truth of who you are than it is about efforting or fighting, or now the words are coming to me. Good morning, Kiki, which, okay, you reminded me of what your name is in the community. And so I remember, but I can't remember at this moment. So it really is about Surrender into the truth of who you are, Jessica. Okay. Surrender into the truth of who you are. This is not a high level of effort. This is not, I've got to fight. This is, I know who I am. I'm going to be that now. And I keep saying this, and I'm going to use a few different ways of wording this because I don't want it to feel confusing or off-putting. Hi, Ken. Hi, Radka. Hi, Corver, too. Beautiful French word that I don't know. All right. Gratitude, the Dragon's Path, 888 Martin. Hello, hello. Okay, so where was I with this before I started talking to all of you? Let's see. Again, my brain is not linear right now. So let me drop in to channeling, a channeling frequency with you all. Be at peace. Surrender to the truth of who you are. Surrender to what you know about yourself, the path that you've already chosen. Surrender is so confusing to a lot of people. And so let me talk about this. I was going to talk about anchoring into knowing that we're God. So surrender, I'll talk about that in a moment. A lot of people ask, how do I surrender? What does surrender mean? What does it mean to go into these energies of surrender? And the irony of asking those questions is that what we are surrendering is the mental knowing. When we're going into surrender, we're surrendering this idea of what things are going to look like and allowing it to be. Surrender is dropping into the stillness. Surrendering is dropping into your God essence, your God nature. Surrender is knowing yourself from a place of presence. It's not effort. It's not fixing. It's not fighting. It's not pushing against things. When we are very still within ourselves, this doesn't have to be an outer stillness. It can be an inward stillness. And indeed, that's the strongest level of stillness, is that inward stillness. We can meditate and still have a lot going on in the mind. When we have that inward stillness, we are in the vibration of the Creator. We are in the vibration of the Creator. And as the Creator, we see everything as sort of, it's equal. We see different frequencies, but there's no attachment. We're operating very differently from there. And that's actually the place where we can consciously choose. Because if we're in action, if we're in fixing, we don't know how to consciously choose, because all we're doing is responding to what we've already seen, what we've already done. We're doing things the same way again and again and again, but it seems like we're choosing. It seems like we're doing something. It's like, I'm very active. I'm fighting the fight. Go into deeper presence and you'll see exactly what movements to make, or none at all. Especially right now, when the directive that I'm getting to share with you all is to rest and to be, it is to let the pieces fall and be in stillness within, because the pieces that are falling are not in the bandwidth that you are in. It's not that same bandwidth. It's sort of like, I compare a lot of this to natural cycles on the planet, right? And how the earth sort of tills itself and the worms get in there and the bugs get in there, and the earth, is able to recycle all of these different things, but it breaks it all the way down so that it can grow something new. If you are listening to this, you are likely not part of the group that's meant to go in there and till the dirt. The dirt knows what it's doing. We actually are here to bring in the light frequencies that build the new earth. And this is something that I talked about in my last video about new earth architects. We're building from these light codes, these light frequencies. So what we really want to do right now is rest and be in stillness and choose your lane, right? I put in the description, the title. Hi, Brandy. I put in the title of this video, Aim High. Aim high, right? The guidance that I am personally getting, and I'm curious if any of you are getting this. The personal guidance that I'm getting is to let myself have a better life than I have ever let myself have before. Whew. Just like in my last book that was about play, and I talked about why play is often so hard for us. My next book is A Return to the Garden of Eden. The codes are coming through right now. I have to let myself live in the Garden of Eden. And let me tell you, the programs that I'm letting go of, that I'm no longer believing in order to let myself have the best life that I ever could have, to level up. And it's not about doing things. It's not about efforting more. The guidance that I'm getting personally is not about efforting more. It's about allowing myself to receive more. It's about allowing everything to come in divine order. Because what we'll start to realize when we are in stillness within, we're no longer fighting. What we'll start to really realize is that everything that we've ever desired, the only reason it's not coming to us is because we've been fighting. We've been fighting it. We've been pushing it away. And so, like I said, my guidance right now is to let it in. And this requires simply more surrender, more peace. Let the good stuff in, because that's all that's ever trying to come in. Let's see how good it can get. Let's see if we can just, raise the roof. How good can it get? So that's the guidance. I want to read this. Universe, show me how good it can get. Literally what I just said. I love that. Same for me, Radka. Yes, yes, yes. All right. I want to offer one more reminder here, and then I'm going to go. The reminder is, we are coming up on holidays. Here in the US, we have Thanksgiving. And then we have Christmas, and that's pretty international. And I want to remind everyone that you can do it however you want to do it. Just like I said at the beginning, I love not celebrating these holidays. It's not a Scrooge thing. It feels really, really good. It feels like I am agreeing to my sovereignty when I say I don't want to, when I opt out of the requirements, right? These things that feel like, oh, I'm obligated to it. I love not doing that. That being said, some of you love these holidays, and I love that for you. And some of you just find so much joy and so much love in the deeper meanings, especially, right? So a lot of this means getting together with your family, enjoying that, and that's beautiful. I want to remind each of you of the level of creatorship that you are in, that you can make a conscious choice. And it doesn't need to be full of conflict, right? It's very peaceful. It's very peaceful. It's sort of a not this, yes, this, not that, yes, this. It's very, very gentle, right? So it's not, how dare you ask me to celebrate Christmas? It's more, the only part about Christmas that I like is the Christmas lights and the hot chocolate. So I'm just going to do that. I love hanging out with my family. I genuinely love being with my family. And I love not spending those exact dates with my family because it makes me feel very free. I'll hang out with them the week before and the week after, but the week during, I want to feel like I can do whatever I want. And so I do that. And so this is a reminder, you can do anything however you want to do it. And I know that sometimes making a choice seems like it upsets people, but it's really just liberating, everyone, especially, and I would say only, but especially if you're focusing only on yourself. Focus only on yourself. I'm not obligated to anyone. I'm also not hurting anyone by choosing what feels good to me. Remember how easy this can be. Sometimes compromising, you can be surprised. So just really letting yourself navigate this however feels good to you. And that's my reminder that you are free. Be gentle about it. First time on your channel, I like what you're presenting. Surrendering and letting go is incredibly powerful when done for real and the right acts. Yeah. Learning surrender is so funny, isn't it? I mean, it's been a funny journey for me because I'm like, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. And I'm always just so, I will say, pleasantly surprised at how deep that surrender can go. Because surrender, I'll say this, so often we think of surrender as letting go of something. Like it is letting go of something, but it's not letting go of something as if you'll never receive it. It's the opposite. Surrender is actually receiving. And that's where it gets really magical. That's why I've grown to really love the process of more and more deeply surrendering, because all we're doing is we're going into presence, we're going into our God nature, and that's where everything actually is. The fighting uh, is our mental area. It's our mental realms, and it's where we're actually fighting off all the good things. And I know that if you haven't practiced surrender deeply before, or if it's still, like I'm trying to figure out surrender from a mental place, if you're still there, I know that that might not make sense. But let me tell you, surrender is like, I give up. It really is giving up. But when you give up, what's actually happening is it's your mind, it's the paradigms that you're locked into. When you are simply being in your energy, you will inherently go where you've determined for yourself and where you have determined for yourself is the highest frequency of who you are. That's what your higher self is. Your higher self is your divine template in the highest frequency of love that you exist in, that you can possibly exist in as your human template, right? So your template is built for you as a human in this lifetime. And your higher self is the highest frequency incarnation of that divine template. So when you surrender, you're surrendering all of these mental plans, all of these ideas of what it needs to look like. And you're allowing yourself to be the full frequency of who you truly are. And that's powerful. And it will go in just the most beautiful way. It's confusing to choose and also surrender. So if that part is confusing for you, I would say focus on the surrender right now. Because when you really understand surrender, when you've practiced it, you'll understand how to make a choice from the place of surrender. So if you're still learning how to differentiate choice and surrender, how to operate with both of those, default to surrendering more and more and more, because the choice part will really make sense. All right, loves. This Friday, I'm going to be sharing a really powerful video. So make sure that you are subscribed. Make sure that you hit like. If you're watching this afterwards, share in the comments what really resonated for you. I'm going to read these comments in just a second. And also, this Sunday, I have a live stream. This is my coaching live stream. It's Channeling for the Collective. It's where I'm going to, for a full hour, go into all of your questions, any questions that you have. I'll go into them, as many as I can, in the full hour. So make sure you tune in for that. I love doing those. Those are a lot of fun. What else? Oh, I moved the live stream up. Usually it's the first day of the month, but I'm going to be traveling for a lot of December. The other thing I wanted to share, True Creator Summer Camp. So True Creator Summer Camp is my annual adult spiritual summer camp. And I have launched pre tickets for that. So early bird is what I'm calling it. And that's the biggest discount of the year. Summer camp is June 11th through the 15th next year. It's incredible. We do ET contact, telekinesis, channeling, telepathy, yoga, all of these workshops, inner child play. We go to the river. It's amazing. So it's going to be really, excuse me, it's going to be really, really fun. I did just get on a plane and I went from I went from cold to hot to cold again. And so I'm dealing with a little bit of sinus stuff. But hello, Joyce. I'm going to go ahead and read that in a moment. But if you are curious about summer camp, check the link in the description box. I think that's all. Oh, one last announcement. The Compassion of Kuan Yin. If you are looking at how to learn to surrender, if you in your life right now are learning how to navigate toward the beauty when all you feel like you can see is pain, or when you are used to being attuned to the pain, but you know that you're here to create new earth, I'm teaching a class called The Compassion of Kuan Yin, and that's going to be on December 12th. In this class, we'll be diving deep into the true nature of compassion. This class is by donation. So $1 or however much you want to donate, you are welcome to join. And I am really excited to offer this. Okay, let me read this. Today I had to surrender holding on to 2 horses. I fought it for forever, but I could not fight it any longer. Peaceful. I find myself peaceful. Thank you for sharing that, because that's really, really powerful. I know that these horses are like family, right? We have such beautiful guides in our lives that come in the form of horses or cats or dogs, our pets. So thank you for sharing that, because that's really, really powerful. Yeah, sending you lots of love through that process. All right, my loves. I will see you all Friday for the premiere of this really, really incredible video that I'm going to share with you, all about disclosure, starships, what 2026 is going to look like. And then I will see you on Sunday for my live coaching hour. Can't wait to see you all then, and have a great Thanksgiving if you were in the US and you choose to do that. I'll talk to you all soon. Okay, bye. Oh, bye everybody.